Hello VC. This will be my third and final video to Grunge Finland answering his questions. Thank you again for the questions, Yanni, and your interest in my channel. I like your channel as well. Keep up the good work. You asked me to name my top 5 albums released in 1990. Start with number 5, Alanis Morissette, Jagged Little Pill. Alanis Morissette was a gal I had a crush on back in the 80s when she was on the Nickelodeon television series You Can't Do That on Television. When I bought the CD, I didn't realize she was the same one from that TV show. But my crush on her came back when I heard some of the songs on that album, especially Hand Over Feet. Hand in My Pocket was one track on the album I didn't care for. You Oughta Know was a little overplayed, but a very solid debut album nonetheless from Alanis Morissette. Number 4, another Canadian artist, will be the album Counterparts from Rush, released in the mid-90s. Counterparts is a very solid, heavy album from Rush. The heaviest album from Rush that I'd heard at that time. I'd not listened to much of, I've not had much of their 70s or early works in my collection, so Counterparts was, at that time, the heaviest Rush album I had ever heard. This favorite song off that one is Nobody's Hero. That's a phenomenal song. Number 3 is another Rush album, Test for Echo, that followed up Counterparts. The song Driven is my favorite off that one. Probably my favorite Rush album that I've heard is Test for Echo. Number 2, Retroactive by Def Leppard. People say that Pyromania was their last true hard rock album. Check this out. Even though it's full of covers and B-sides, Retroactive is a hard rock and solid album and one of my favorites from Def Leppard. And as I mentioned before, number 1, released at the beginning of the 90s, Scorpions' Crazy World. Their follow-up to Savage Amusement, which was the first album from them I ever got. First time I saw them on tour. So Crazy World, probably for a lot of nostalgia, is my number 1 album from the 90s. So there you go, Yanni. I hope I answered all your questions to your satisfaction. Again, I appreciate your sub. Like your channel as well. You have a great day. Hip up, Ava. God bless the VC.